Hello, everybody. We're talking Brian Flores, former head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Let's go. Brian Flores sues NFL, 3 teams as former Miami Dolphins coach alleges racism in hiring practices. This story broke on 1 February, this past Tuesday, 2022, on ESPN. Brian Flores is 40 years old, born February 24th, 1981. He's a first generation Honduran American, born and raised in Brownsville, Brooklyn, which, by the way, is the area my wife is from, being married to her going on 22 years, and I've been out there for 4 years before we took off and made a life for ourselves. I know firsthand how rough that area can be. He played football as a linebacker at Boston College from 1999 through 2002. He had various assistant coaches jobs with the New England Patriots from 2008 to 2019 before getting hired by the Miami Dolphins as the head coach from 2019 to January 2022, where he got fired recently. But we'll get into that later. But, you know, when he was with the New England Patriots, he won at least 2 or 3 championship rings. He contributed to the team's success. Now, he and his lawyers filed a 58-page lawsuit in Manhattan Federal Court this past Tuesday, 1 February 2022. He's suing the NFL, the Giants, Broncos, and the Dolphins. And he is requesting that the lawsuit be in class action status. Because I think that he's speaking for a number of coaches who have experienced what he experienced, and he expects them to step up and bring their voice to the lawsuit. So he's suing the Giants and the Broncos for discriminatory interview processes, which we'll get into later. And in a separate breath, he's suing the Dolphins for firing not necessarily linked to poor performance. Now, the Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule states that NFL teams must interview at least 2 ethnic minorities for top positions on NFL teams, including head coach. Flores alleges the Giants and the Broncos interviewed him just to satisfy the Rooney Rule, but already had a white candidate in mind. In a separate breath, however, Flores alleges that the owner of the Dolphins offered Flores $100,000 per game lost on purpose in order to secure a higher draft pick position the next year. Additionally, Flores was pressured to replace the current quarterback, Tua, with another prominent quarterback, which Flores refused on both accounts, both the $100K per game loss and to replace Tua with another prominent quarterback. The specifics on replacing the quarterback, the reason why Flores turned that down was because, one, he thought he already had a prominent quarterback in Tua, and Flores did not want to violate the NFL tampering rules. Let's go to the 2019 through 2021 performance statistics, which is an upper right quadrant. In 2019, Flores' record, the Miami Dolphins record, was 5 wins, 11 losses. In 2020, drastically improved to 10 wins and 6 losses. And in 2021 did slightly worse than 2020 with 9 wins and 8 losses. Overall, the Dolphins' performance under Flores' leadership was 24 wins and 25 losses, which is not great. It's not perfect. It's pretty decent. Understanding that 2019 first got the team, trying to understand what the culture was about. It was his first year as a head coach. Unless you're an extraordinary person with extraordinary talent around you from the head down to the water boy, most coaches are not going to get a winning season in their first year. And so is the case with Flores in 2019. 2020 was drastically better, but however, I mean, not taking anything from him and his leadership and his effort. 2020 was a weird year because that was a COVID year. And then 2021 was more back to normal with 9 and 8, still a winning season, but did not make the playoffs his last 3 years of coaching the team. Okay. Let's go down to the lower left quadrant, 2019 to 2021 performance analysis. In 2019, he had 5 wins, 11 losses. He did Miami Dolphins under Flores' leadership. 4 teams did worse than 5 and 11. And 3 teams had similar stats. In 2020, 10 wins, 6 losses. Miami Dolphins under Flores' leadership did better than 19 teams. Only 1 team had similar stats. In 2021, the Miami Dolphins under Flores' leadership had 9 wins, 8 losses. He did better than 14 teams, and 5 teams had similar stats. One thing I want to point out is that part of the allegations is losing on purpose, tanking a team just to get a higher draft pick the next year. So, one of the things I want to point out in 2019, the Lions had a 9-game losing streak, and the Panthers had an 8-game losing streak. In 2020, the Jaguars had a 15-game losing streak. So let me just stop there, right? So don't really remember what the Lions did with their draft pick in 2020 when they lost 9 games in a row. In 2019, don't really understand what the Panthers got out of losing 8 in a row. But the Jaguars, that is a big asterisk. 15 losses in a row. That's how they got Trevor Lawrence in 2021. So the alleged tanking or losing on purpose, it is alleged, can't really prove it, but when you're looking at a 9-game losing streak in a row, 15-game losing streak in a row, 7-game losing streak, 6-game losing streak in a row, and these are supposed to be professionals, these are supposed to be professional teams, what grown men in their right mind, if they're focused on winning, will be losing all these games in a row if there wasn't some incentive to do so. Now, they could just plain suck like the Lions, but, the Panthers, the Ravens, the Jaguars, I mean, come on, something sticks out there. So all of this is alleged, tanking is alleged, but it leads one to think that this may be going on. This may be more prevalent than we think. All right, lower right quadrant. My final analysis. I think Brian Flores probably had a lawsuit as an ace up his sleeve, depending on how the Dolphins treated him in the offseason after the 2021 offseason. I don't think he was fired based on performance. I mean, we've seen it. I mean, it's average, slightly above average, depending on the situation, depending on the division, depending on the conference, and depending on the environment that was going on and the talent around him. I don't know if 25 wins and 25 losses is acceptable, unacceptable, whatever, but I still don't think that he was fired based on performance. I think he was fired due to personality conflicts because he turned down the $100,000 per game loss on purpose. And he bumped heads with the owner on finding another prominent quarterback to replace Tua. I think the pressure to lose on purpose for a higher draft position exists in all sports. Flores will have to prove beyond reasonable doubt regarding his allegations against the Dolphins owner that the Dolphins owner did in fact offer him $100,000 per game loss on purpose in order to achieve a higher draft picking position in the next year. I hope other coaches and coordinators step forward and join the lawsuit because I know this is prevalent throughout the NFL. I have my opinions about Roger Goodell, which I will keep to myself, but I just think that because this behavior, because this activity is alleged to be prevalent throughout the NFL, I think this is the reason why the NFL as a whole is part of this lawsuit. And bottom line is that the NFL ultimately is responsible for seriously investigating these allegations and should not lean on or rely on their dismissive responses thus far. If you like the content of this video, please like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, and be sure to hit that notification bell for more new videos as they're posted. As always, I'll see you later, and thanks for watching.